Welcome back.
Welcome to the
It's Christmas time. Oh, this is Christmas. Okay, well, obviously today we're not just going to be singing carols for you guys. But if you're seeing this episode today, then it is Christmas Day.
Yeah, it
right?
is.
The 25th?
Yeah.
So,
25th.
What better day? What better episode could we bring to you guys if not about Christmas, right?
We could have done a lot better episodes, to be honest, but I was forced into this. My arms were tied and strong.
Ha ha ha. Girl, be for real.
I'm being fucking for real right now.
No. Let's get started into today. I compiled a couple of questions that I got from ChatGPT. And if you're not familiar with that, it is basically
Machine learning algorithm that just answers questions.
Tell us more.
That's literally it. Like, it's just an algorithm that's been trained on many modules of data, like just to spit out answers to questions that you give it. And so like it learns from not just what you give it, but also things that it's already had, and then gives you output that it perceives to be the highest confidence to what your answer is.
Damn. And then explain it like I'm 5.
You type, it tells you something.
What does it tell me?
What you asked about.
No, that's fair. I've been playing a lot with it recently just because it's like a new hype or whatever, even though it's been there for years, right?
Yeah. This is the 3rd version of it, ChatGPT 3.
That's crazy, girl.
Yeah.
I've been playing around with it, asking very specific questions, and it's very good at giving back specific answers to whatever case there is. But just before we get into today's topic, because this is very relevant, what are the impacts that you think this is going to have on like people's jobs?
None. Like, I don't believe it has any impact whatsoever. I think all it's going to do is just, if people really want to use it, they can utilize it to like, instead of like having to start from scratch, you kind of get and formulating ideas yourself. You can kind of like ask a question, get the base of the idea you want to formulate, and then build from there. But besides that, I honestly don't see it having a crazy impact on any jobs out there.
Do you think it's going to impact the creative field at all?
No, I don't think it will impact the creative field at all, because once again, it's like you still, like, the thing about models is like they're built, people build them themselves, like based off data that exists. Like it's not some, like, yes, it like learns and like gives you answers, but it gives you answers compiled of things that it already knows, which are information it already has. Like, it's not like, as I said, it's more of a like a sped up starting point than it is replacing anything.
But do you think that like with time, because there's going to be even more and more data,
No,
it's going to get even better?
No. It'll get better, like, but once again, it will never formulate like things, like it'll formulate things based off what it has. And there are questions, answers that can be made that, like, whether this is new or not. Yeah, like, and it's based off things in news, but it's like a new variation of that, but still not the same as like someone making something completely from scratch themselves. No information of something else. They just like it just comes into their brain. Obviously humans are inspired by everything, but like it's a different, like, humans are more capable of being inspired by nothing and just making something because they dream it up than a machine learning algorithm that needs an inspiration from other things before it can do anything.
So then obviously, because that on that note as well, obviously, the Lensa app has been like trending, and that's pulling art from artists. What's your take?
Well, it's like one of those mixed bags where it's like it's one of those things that it's can be used as theft, but also it's not theft at the same time. It's a weird gray area where realistically, if we're going to continue down this lane, we should have like yes, it is the public internet. Anything that's on the internet is public, but obviously if someone, like, for example, there are situations in which there are people who have commissioned art and or whatever, or they have private art that they have on their Patreon, but then someone, you know, put that on the public internet, and then that's being fed into the algorithm. There should be some form of like source in which they can get their data from that's more legitimate, that wouldn't piss off everybody, you know. And then I think that would, like, you know, sort out the kind of like nuances there, and like, because then that's kind of like a opt in, opt out, because that's what they've been screaming about, you know. But obviously at the same time, I get the other side where it's like, yeah, but it's on the internet, it's a public domain, so blah blah blah. But no, because like people are working on it. But once again, I don't ever think it's going to completely replace artists. I think if someone really likes your work, they're going to pay for your work. If they're not just going to get some machine learning algorithm to just duplicate what your work is. And also the people who are paying for, let's say, like the avatars, let's be honest, they weren't the people that were going to pay for your commissions anyway in the first place. You know, if that's what they really wanted, something quick and simple. Like people who want something that's quick and simple, yes, that's what they're gonna get that. But most artists don't do quick and simple anyway. They do like proper commission pieces and stuff like that. Obviously there are artists that do quick and simple commission pieces, and that will probably affect their bottom line. But like in reality, I just think it's just going to make it so that artists, when it comes to commissioning and stuff like that, it means that you're only getting serious off deals and stuff in which people are actually trying to come to you for your knowledge and your creativity, not just a quick, simple lens thing. And the thing is, like, as I said, it's all just a jumping point. It, like, maybe if someone has something that they want to do, but they don't really know how to tell you, they're not communicating it, you kind of put the description of what you want, it creates something, kind of like how DALL-E does it. Like, you give a description of something and it creates something. So, like, they kind of give a description of that, it gives you an idea, and then you go and create it in whatever way you want. So, like, do you believe it's in there? Like, machine learning is never going to take away your jobs. Automation will take away your jobs. Like, simple.
And obviously that whole Lenser spiel, if you're not aware, is basically this app, and you kind of like feed it photos of yourself, and it just makes a creative, you know, drawing like piece of you. And they look pretty good. You know what? They look pretty good. And you actually pay for that as well. So at the end of the day, someone's getting their money. But anyway, enough about the tech. The reason that we brought up ChatGPT is because I asked it to give us some questions, some Christmas questions that we can answer today. So that's why they kind of went hand in hand, in case you were wondering. And the first question that it gave us was, how do you celebrate Christmas?
I don't. I actually, for real, I don't celebrate Christmas. You know, like my dad is Muslim, my mom's Christian. I myself am Muslim, so I don't really celebrate Christmas. I've never had any interest in it. Personally, myself, like, it's just one of those things, like, not even due to religious reasons. I just have no interest in it. The max I've done with Christmas is just through her, because her family celebrates it. So you tell us, how do you celebrate Christmas?
Just before that, what does Christmas look like in Nigeria?
It's party, but it's not Christmas related.
Okay.
Like, it's just an excuse to party. It's not actual Christmas. Like, you know, like, maybe, like, it depends on like where you from and what your family is like. Some families will be doing the whole exchange of gifts and stuff like that, but from people I know, it's not that common, right? And from the area I grew up, it's not that common. But at the same time, there are people who do that, don't get me wrong, but it's more of just like a party festive season, you know.
But I know that you guys are what, like 50% Christians, right?
Yeah, but
do they go to church? Is it like an opportunity to,
like some, like, you know, they do prayer, stuff like that, you know, like, it's one of those things. But it's definitely not celebrated the same way it is celebrated in the West. Completely.
Fair. Yeah. Okay. Well, my Christmas, when I was little, and I think I've talked about this before, but basically every winter in Romania, it used to get super, super snowy. So we had a lot of snow during winter, and we used to go caroling, mostly the kids up to maybe age 12, I don't know. So I was 9 when I left, so I would have been small enough to go caroling, and my grandma would bring me from house to house, and they would give you generally money. It wouldn't be much, it would just be, you know, little bits that they had, 1 leu, whatever. And sometimes, you know, they would give you fruit, I think, or sweets, but it was mostly money, and we were all counting our money at the end. I remember, you know, some kids from school asked me if I wanted to go with them, and because I wanted more money for myself, I was like,
You're like, nah, cool. I'm good.
I will not go with you guys. I'm going to go by myself. So that was probably a good decision. But that was, part of the Christmas tradition. Another thing would kind of just be setting up the Christmas tree. We've always done that. And we used to actually put chocolate in it. It's not really a tradition here, but you'd basically get these things called salwane, right? And it's just chocolate wrapped candy, and you put a string on it, and then you put it on the tree.
Yes, some cultures do actually. I've seen that before, like in a movie where they like have those. It's like a teardrop type of chocolate, and they hang it on the tree. Yeah.
And obviously, I wasn't allowed to eat them until Christmas, but I always sneakily went and took one or two. And then I think my mom, when she grew up, she put oranges in her Christmas tree. So she didn't have chocolate, I don't think. She had oranges. And it was a specialty. You wouldn't get oranges just like that. It was a Christmas
orange,
tradition or whatever. What do you call it? Delicacy. Yeah, Christmas delicacy.
Special delight during Christmas.
That's it.
Only during that time and nothing else.
Exactly. And yeah, we just kind of spend time with the family, and then Santa would come and whatever, and you get a gift or two. And that was really it. I don't really remember it being very as it is here.
Yeah.
It wasn't as money orientated, I guess, which brings me to my next question, right? What do you think of the financial stress and commercialization of the holiday season?
I greatly dislike it. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like Christmas simply because of that fact that, like, Christmas statistically, like, is the time in which most people go into debt because they just buy presents they can't afford for people they don't really like, and that's just how it is. Everyone's like, and once again, like, take this with a grain of salt. This is just my personal opinion, but like, everyone is always like, oh my God, it's so cheery and everything. And like, yes, people are in a good mood, but everyone just seems so fake to other people because you're like fake nice, like during this season, but you're never fake nice like to everyone else throughout the entire year, just because it's the season. It's like, oh my God, it's Christmas, everyone has to be nice to everyone. Like, it's kind of bullshit to me.
Do you think it's because people feel they need to be nice, or because they're in a good mood that kind of makes you be nice?
I think some people are the latter, but majority of people are the former. Like, absolutely, most people are fake being nice. Like, you guys can prove me wrong and can say whatever, but like, it's just, as I said, take it with a grain of salt. It's just my opinion. Like, just from what I've seen, Christmas is just such a it's such a commercial holiday. It's not whatever it's set out to be. It's not. It's just literally a holiday for funsies to take people's money and everyone to be like, and then hate each other right afterwards.
Yeah, no, I agree with the financial stress, especially because people do almost feel obliged to spend so much money on gifts for all these people, like, neighbor, cousin, co-worker. And I've seen even like, it was like, what's it called? Secret Santa that people do at work, and stuff.
But usually they have like a budget for that, but still, yeah, it's still something.
Yeah, I suppose. I know I saw this girl and she put in like a little Fenty eyeshadow, a Fenty lip gloss, which these things aren't cheap, okay?
Definitely over budget. That is definitely
possibly.
Like, most things are like max €50, max
okay,
€25.
you could get that in €50, but yeah, she got that, and in return she got, I think it was some vegetables, raw vegetables. She was upset,
wasn't she?
100%.
Once again, and that goes to my point. Isn't the whole point of Christmas that it's just like, it's about giving, not getting
But it's gifts? A thoughtful gift. No, it's meant to be a thoughtful gift.
A gift's a gift. They gifted you vegetables, so you should be happy with your gift because it's Christmas, right? There's no such thing, like the idea, if you really want to follow Christmas, the idea is you shouldn't give a shit what someone gives you. It's just the fact that you are giving to people and people are giving. Everyone is caring for each other. I could give you fucking coal. And you should be like, thank you so for the Christmas present. Thank you so much.
Do you think that Christmas has become more about receiving instead of giving?
It's absolutely about receiving. Everyone's just fucking trying to one up each other with their presents, and that's why it fucking keeps rising. And then kids are asking for PlayStations, and you're like, damn, since it's Christmas, we have to give them a PlayStation. But not on the day of their birth, I have to give them a present like that. But on Christmas, because it's Christmas, I have to give them this, give them that, give them multiple presents, because otherwise they're gonna be like, oh my God, Santa's not real, life sucks, everything's shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
But on the, giving and receiving thing, I think that was actually one of the questions. I do think it's kind of become about that, unfortunately, very, what am I gonna get? Or like, oh, if I give them something good, I'll get something good or whatever. And it really should be, like you said, I'm just gonna give you whatever I can afford, and just like a symbol of gratitude or whatever, just giving back. And whatever I get with, I don't care. It shouldn't be about the receiving. But at the same time, with the Secret Santa, I do feel like if there's a budget and someone's giving you a $5 gift versus 20,
a budget isn't a target.
It's like, that's like the speed limit, okay? And technically, you should be at it.
A budget is not a target.
Technically, you should be.
A budget is not a target. I will reiterate: a budget is not a target.
I don't think it's fair. You can get
anything within the budget. You are allowed. If I want to give you socks, it's fine.
Fair. That's fair. Another question that we have here is, do you want your kids to believe in Santa?
I don't really have a choice here, do I? I don't. I personally, I'll let you know. No, I didn't give a shit. I didn't believe in Santa.
Were you the person who ruined it for everyone else?
And I was like, no way. I was like, no, bullshit. Bullshit.
At what age did you know?
I've known. I never believed in Santa once, ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. Never believed in Santa.
Okay.
So, like, fuck it. But,
did you ruin it for other kids?
No, I didn't give a shit. I genuinely did not. I don't think people truly understand how much I just did not give a fuck about Christmas growing up. And that's what I just didn't care. Like, people be talking about it and they're like, oh, whatever, free. And I'm just like, and they call me the Grinch. Like, I was like, I don't care. Like, I just don't give a shit about this thing. I'd only ruin it for people who like would beef me severely for Christmas. Like, oh my God, you just don't whatever, blah blah blah. I'm like, Santa's not real. Shut up.
Yeah, I think you really are a Grinch. Oh my God, it's so difficult to get any smiles out of you today.
Yeah, Christmas is such a.
And it's tough. It's tough.
And it's going to be funny because I know the conversation is like, oh my God, toxic, red flag, doesn't like Christmas, doesn't like being happy. I just don't care about the holiday.
Yeah, but you cannot care and not shit on other people.
No, I can, because they've shat on me my entire life. It's my get back.
I don't know. Christmas does make me happy, and I do like the whole decorations, and I think it's so cute, and I love to see it, and there's just such a nice vibe. And it was actually snowing here a little bit too, so I was like, I love it. We don't even have a tree in our home, but not because he won't let me necessarily, but because it's not our home, and it just feels like where am I meant to put it afterwards, and just storage issues. That's annoying.
I wouldn't even help with the tree, just saying.
I know, I would just do it by myself.
I'm gonna dig myself a grave here. I'm gonna double down on everything. Yeah. Really fan the flames of all the haters. Yeah.
You're so supportive.
You guys would put the tree up by yourself, decorate it yourself. Don't care.
Me and the kids.
You by yourself. Anyway, yeah.
But you're not gonna let your kids celebrate Christmas?
My kids? I don't have kids. The fuck?
What? This is in the future.
I don't have kids.
Oh my God. That's a no. That's a no. No, I definitely don't want. I'm not okay with my kids believing in Santa. I just feel like it gives them the right to wish for all these things, and it's like, yo, that's not how the world works. I'm buying it. It's out of my pocket.
You're just setting them up for failure, to be honest, by letting them believe in Santa. Let's not lie. You're helping your kids believe in some magical bullshit creature that doesn't exist, that's gonna grant them whatever presents they wish for, put on a list. Like, you're setting them up for failure. Just let them know Santa doesn't exist. Mom and dad about your present. So be realistic with what presents you want, because there's only so much we can do.
That's it. And I think going back to, kind of like people who don't have as much money. So then if you are from a household that doesn't have as much money, and now you're seeing your peers get all these cool like PlayStations and whatever, and you're not, it shouldn't make you feel like, oh, Santa doesn't love me. It's like,
Santa doesn't love you.
Stop.
Santa does
Stop
not
it.
love you.
This is so mean.
He doesn't.
Stop.
He doesn't love you.
There's no Santa. Okay, spoiler alert.
He hates you. Santa hates you. He thinks you're worth less than the other kids.
Stop. It's putting such a strain on families who can't afford to, and I think it's kind of sad. And especially when kids go back to school and start to compare presents. Oh, what did you get? I don't like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just don't even set up your kids with all the bullshit. Like, what's the tooth mother?
Oh my God.
Tooth fairy.
Not the tooth mother.
Tooth fairy. Nah, just be like, yo, you lost the teeth. I trade you 1 year for that, and then it's a business transaction. You're setting them up for success.
Your kid just pulling all their teeth out.
You're setting them up for success. You teach them economics from an early age, business deals.
That's interesting with the tooth fairy, because in Romania, I didn't have that. What we did when the tooth fell out, you went outside and threw it on the roof of the house. I don't know why.
And then you got money.
No.
Oh,
That's just what you did with your teeth.
That's weird. But no, my mom tried to make me believe in the tooth fairy. I didn't believe in the tooth fairy.
That's so cute.
I'll tell you right now. I'm pretty sure I remember it clearly. I don't know if it was the first time or whatever time that she tried. And this, like, I'm a heavy ass sleeper, but she like came to try to change it. And I just opened my eyes. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? I'm like, what you doing?
I love that you were that kid that didn't even let them entertain you.
I'm not dumb.
It's not about being dumb. It's just, it's cute.
Like,
or
how you
whatever.
getting a fast one pulled over you like that? That's why some of you get tricked when you're older. That's why people are able to play with your emotions.
Stop. No.
Because they've been doing it since you were young, and they continue doing it when you're adult. I'm not, you can catch me lacking. You can't catch me lacking.
I know a lot of people find joy in creating this Christmas magic and making their kids believe in it. I know one of my friends, her mom actually every Christmas made them like write letters, and then she would, tie them off, and then I think they would, I'm not too sure if I remember correctly, but they would either burn them or something, and it was just like magical.
Like
I don't know. She created like a really magical thing, and I thought that was so cute. Let me tell you how I found out that Santa doesn't exist. Not that I really believed in him.
You definitely believed in it. You're definitely one of those kids that believed in it. Don't even lie.
I'm trying to think.
You believed hard. You believed hard.
I'm trying to think.
You believed hard.
I'm trying to think. Okay. Yeah. I know I found out it wasn't real when I was maybe 7 or 8. And here's what happened. I went caroling with my grandma, and I think my dad, before I left, said, maybe Santa will come to you before you come back. And I was upset because I was like, no, it's meant to be overnight. Why would it come while I'm gone?
Oh my God.
I was so sad about it.
Oh my God.
So I went with my grandma, and I really didn't want him to come to my house yet. But when I came back, there was gifts under my tree, and I was so mad at my dad. I was like, you couldn't even play this off enough for me.
But that means you knew Santa didn't exist before that.
I mean, yeah. I think, yeah.
Yeah, because you were like...
I was like, play along. Jeez. Make it cute or whatever. And he didn't, and I was so upset. But yeah, that's what ruined it for me. And then I knew it wasn't real.
I guess that was the straw that broke the camel's back. You already knew, but that was the nail in the coffin.
Yeah. And then obviously, when we moved to Ireland, my mom would try to be like, yeah, Santa's coming. And I would just play along. I'd be like, yeah, what's he bringing me?
Point your camera.
Yeah. I think that was for my birthday.
No, it was for Christmas plus your birthday.
No, it wasn't.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, another question that's on this list is, not that we would both know much about it, but has Christmas lost its religious meaning over time?
Like, Jesus wasn't even born at Christmas, so...
When was he born?
After.
When?
I think it was closer to Easter, if anything.
I think you're right.
Yeah, like, so... Yeah, you can fact check me on that. I'm not too sure. Like, but I know it wasn't that Christmas that he was born. So, I don't think there was ever any religious meaning, unless it was like Saint Nicholas or some shit. I don't know. Is that just code name for Santa Claus?
No.
Or is that an actual saint? Like...
No, we have Saint Nicholas. And fun fact, in Romania, on the 6th of December, it's Saint Nicholas, which is 2 days after my birthday. Sliding that in there. And it's kind of like, he's a pre-Santa kind of guy. He's also a guy that is kind of like Santa, but is pre-Santa. And you have to scrub your shoes clean and put them at the door. And then in the morning, this sounds so bad, but you get a stick, right? But it's a pretty stick. It's like decorated and pretty and has like little bells on it. And there's chocolate inside your shoe.
That's a stinky chocolate bar. But yeah, no, that St. Nicholas guy, weird. Definitely touches kids. But anyway, that's a different story. But fucking yeah, no, Christmas has no religious meaning. I think the most religious thing is maybe you guys do the Christmas prayer, don't you?
Who's we? You? Who's you?
Yeah, like Christians and stuff.
I'm not Christian.
Catholic, Protestant.
I'm none of it.
The whole shebang.
Yeah, I think there is Christmas Mass.
Yeah, Christmas Mass. Yes, that's what it's called.
Or something.
I believe that's a thing. So like for people who are very religious, it probably is. But I'd say for the vast majority of people, it's not religious. It's literally a commercial holiday.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say the same.
But once again, don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. I'm just saying, like, take it with a grain of salt. I'm just speaking from my own perspective.
Yeah, I think back in Romania, there was a lot more emphasis on the church. I remember there was a lot of church going during the holiday season. And I think especially New Year's, you would go and stay till midnight, have a candle lit. And
it's like how every person only goes to pray once a year on Eid. Actually, twice a year, sorry. On Eid day, like people you never see in the mosque for Jummah Salah, and they just randomly show up. You're like, damn, who are you?
Well, who do we have here?
You know, but yeah.
Tell us actually a little bit more about that, because I know there's gift giving, receiving for Eid.
Well, Eid is just twice a year. It's the only holidays Muslims have, and yeah, people get gifts. Like people, like kids get. It's mostly kids. You give kids gifts. You don't really give other adults gifts. You can, like some cultures do it, but it's just you invite people over. You eat food, party.
That's nice.
Nice. One to celebrate the end of Ramadan, and then another one.
That's actually very nice.
Eid al-Adha and Eid al-Fitr. Both of those.
And not for Eid here, because we just moved here by ourselves. And I asked Farouk what's my Eid gift. And he got me an Eid gift. And I got him an Eid gift. And that was actually very sweet.
I know. Look at me.
But yeah, I don't know. I think you already expressed a lot of trauma that you have at Christmas.
Christmas sucks.
Because there was one of the questions that was, do you enjoy the Christmas spirit?
No. All you dumb kids who bullied me for not caring about Christmas when we were young, this is what you've made. Never forget that. Scumbags.
No, he's the Grinch in the room, guys.
I wouldn't hate it as much as I did if it wasn't for all of that, honestly. Because like they just kept giving me shit. Because I was like, they're like, oh, Freak, do you celebrate Christmas? I was like, no, I don't. And then they're like, why? Why? Like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, what the fuck do you mean what's wrong with me? I just don't do it. Like, you know? End of story. Stupid kids.
Anyways, I like the Christmas spirit. I really enjoy it. I like the nice vibes. You and your mama. Yeah, but I think my mom is like the purest Christmas lover. Like she just loves it for what it is, and she's just genuinely happy. And oh my god,
she's a good example, to be honest. Yeah, like she was kind of like her and my mom are the people who sell me that there's still people who actually just care about it to care about it, not because it's a commercial thing. Most of you don't lie to yourselves as a commercial thing. You can lie to yourself all you want. It's commercial for you. But there's some good eggs out there that generally have that whole Christmas spirit.
Yeah.
Existing.
And I think it's so sweet. Like, how could I forget? Like during Christmas time was when my mom baked the most. And there was always such yummy stuff, and there still is, because I'm always with her for Christmas, so there's always really yummy cakes, and it's the fattening of the year. There's just
not for me, bro. So you guys can get fat on your own.
You always eat the cakes.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean I'm getting fat.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously to finish off today's episode, I thought what better way than to get a little story for you guys, which is somewhat Christmas related, obviously. What else would it be?
Shoot me now.
And it's an Am I the Asshole story. And it goes like this.
Watch them being, it's going to be something about them being a Grinch or something and everyone hating them for that.
I wish it was. I wish it was, because that would have been more on brand. But it actually isn't. It's just it's not even so much Christmas related, but just thought it would kind of tie it in. So, am I the asshole for bringing my fiance to Christmas despite my famous cousin's wishes? My cousin is very famous. Yes, you have heard of him, and no, I won't tell you who he is. We'll call him Terry. When we have family...
Terry Crews?
When we have family functions, mainly for holidays, Terry likes for them to be family only so he can be himself and get drunk and pass out on the couch and share Hollywood gossip with us. Otherwise, he feels like he's being interviewed and having everyone talk to him or want a picture, and he has to be in promo mode. He said it's because he was tired of having to meet strangers and not be able to get loose, and there were some issues of these partners taking pictures of him or spreading gossip. I hated this at first because I would be dating some chick and she would want to get to meet him, and it's awkward to tell them they can't come to family events and they get mad that they never get to meet him. My Tinder has a picture of me with Terry. But I get it, so I was fine with it until this year. I began dating this chick in August. The fact that he keeps calling them chicks really bothers me for some reason.
Ick, not gonna lie.
Ick. I began dating this chick in August. I couldn't bring her to Thanksgiving. Fine. But when I walk in, I see another cousin, Danielle, has brought her boyfriend, Steve. Even though they've been together for less than a year, they got together over New Year's and engaged on Halloween. Terry was fine with it. Terry was fine with this because he's met Steve before, old family friend, even though I've been told that no exceptions are allowed to this rule. Thanksgiving sucked because the whole time I was mad and I, once again, wasn't allowed to bring my girlfriend. My girlfriend consoled me after, and I realized that she is my soulmate. 2 weeks ago, I proposed and we got engaged. Christmas was at my aunt's. I'm a believer in ask for forgiveness, not permission. So I brought my fiance because she had nowhere else to go and I wanted her to meet my family. We walk into the house and all hell breaks loose. Everyone was asking who she was and scolding me about the rules, and Terry flipped out. He was already buzzed and looked 20 pounds heavier than he usually presents himself, and started yelling at me for doing this to him. He didn't seem excited at all about my engagement or willing to introduce himself to her. Our grandma was telling Terry to get over it and asking to see the ring and saying she wished she had gotten my fiance a gift. So grandma was on my side, but Terry was still arguing with me and said I shouldn't be allowed at any more events, and he ended up calling an Uber back and leaving before we even ate. To top it all off, my uncle, who has never even liked Terry, got upset because apparently Terry was his secret Santa, so he didn't get a gift. So my uncle started blaming me for ruining Christmas. I get there mad, but it was clear there was an exception for the fiance, and I'm embarrassed that my family was so rude to her when I just didn't want her to be alone at Christmas.
Man, that's just a whole clusterfuck. Also, why are you clout chasing your cousin? Like, fucking put him
Poor
in
Terry.
Like, you know. And also, you're like, yes, we know them. How about if we don't? How about if this is some C-list, no-name fucker that none of us know? You know?
Nobody, a schmuck.
No one cares. No one knows side character and something. But either way, that whole scenario is fucked. Because you need the rules. Yes, it's stupid rules, but you should have at least asked. Because the fact that you went, get forgiveness, ask for permission, blah, blah, just
cop out.
It's such a cop out statement. Just ask. Just be like, hey guys, I have proposed to my blah de blah.
It's the fact that they didn't know for me. They didn't know he was engaged until they walked in. What?
Yeah, so it's like, be like, yo, I got engaged. I would really like to bring her along. Is that calm? I can guarantee that they would have been like, oh yeah. And Terry would have mentally gotten himself fucking ready to meet this strange person because you got engaged to them, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
But the fact that you just sprung it there, who the fuck's gonna listen to you when they're in the mood already, you know? And also your uncle being mad that he didn't get his present is so Christmas. That's Christmas, right? that literally proves my point about Christmas, no? But
yeah,
y'all want to deny that and be like, oh, the uncle's just a special. No, that's all of you. That's all of you. Cloud chasing.
Where's my gift? I just feel like this whole family is a little bit problematic with, he's famous. Yeah, I have a picture with him and all this stuff. And I actually don't really like the way Terry is so like, no one you can come. Like, of course, at
Who the
some...
fuck are you, Terry?
Yeah, like, come on. At some stage, of course, people are going to have, say, really close friends or fiance, you know, people that they want to bring along. And if I've been dating someone for 2 years and I still can't bring them because, oh, Terry's famous, then Terry can stay home.
Yeah, Terry, stay at home in your big Hollywood mansion.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be okay. There, you have plenty of people to be with. So I just don't think it was fair. I'm gonna go with everyone kind of sucks here. I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's just everyone's just
Terry and the whole crew.
Terry and the whole crew.
All suck here. You all suck here.
Yeah, I agree.
Except for the fiance, she was just dragged in.
But here's the thing.
No.
Here's the thing. He said that on Tinder, right? He has a picture with him, and then he said that other girls that he's been with have been wanting to meet him, and he couldn't bring them along.
You really think the fiance played a long game to try to meet Terry?
Yeah.
God.
I think she did. I think she's clout chasing.
Oh my God.
She's like, I know what's happening here. Let me fix that.
Lol.
And they got engaged.
Anyway, either way, everyone sucks here. I would exempt the fiance though, but yeah.
Just really quick on the Thanksgiving bit. I was reading this thread on r/Ireland, and people were giving out that a lot of Irish things have become American, and they were saying, why is there an emphasis on Thanksgiving
we
here?
don't have Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and I was a little bit confused because I don't recall anyone celebrating that.
The max we have is the Black Friday thing, and that's just because stores like to have sales. So like that has nothing to do with things. Like, yes, Black Friday exists because of Thanksgiving, but it being in Ireland has nothing to do with Thanksgiving.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Black Friday.
It's just
thoughts.
It's not the same anymore. Like, so it doesn't matter at all.
As if when we were little we had any buying power.
No, I'm saying like as in Ireland it means nothing, and in America it's not the same. Like, people weren't going crazy over deals and fucking stampeding on each other. It's just literally just a normal shopping day now. So literally statistically it wasn't that crazy. So
but I think it's because I can just stroll into a website on a random Monday and it's like, it's raining, here's 20% off. And
no, like Black Friday did very well online. It's just like in person.
I don't know. I think the deals are
no. Statistically, like even this year, it was ridiculous. Like
I don't think so.
No,
all the websites that I was looking at.
I talked about the statistic.
I don't know, all the websites that I was looking at, and well, maybe the ones that I was looking at, maybe because they're in the UK brands or things like Beauty Bay or whatever, they were doing Black Friday sales, but it was just regular sales that I'm able to get other times of the year.
But like still either way, like it still does well mathematically for them sales wise. Like yes, it still did very well this year, but like it's not doing insanely anymore. But then over the weekend, including Cyber Monday, that then went insane. And so like overall it's still doing very, very well. And it's just like, once again, it's all online now. No one really gives a shit about going in the store in person to get sales. Everyone just shops online, gets the shit ordered to their house, and it's done.
That's fair. But yeah, that was all the Christmas questions I had and all the Christmas spirit I could possibly drag out of me to deal with this person next to me.
You got
it was really hard. It was really, really hard.
Nada.
And I hope you guys appreciate the effort that I'm putting into this episode. Okay? I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday season, and like, subscribe, share, comment, rate the episode. Until next time.
Peace.